I'll wait. I'll wait. I know I'm going to hear some sounds from somewhere. Somebody's going to make some noise. We're live, bro.
We're live. Welcome, everybody, to another Tuesday night. No, your eyes do not deceive you. Yes, we are, in fact, live and in color on everyone's favorite website, YouTube. Is there anything else to the internet other than YouTube now? I don't even know. It's pretty much the only thing I use. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's ARMTV. We're talking. It's our talk show. Yes, you, the faithful chatter, have a chance to come on and talk a little arm wrestling with Gary Roberts of ARMTV fame and Uncle John of Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show fame. So come on down. Tell us what you want to talk about. We do have a few topics that we want to address kind of right out of the gate. There's been some big stuff that's happened just today.
What, right out of the gate? We don't want to tease. We don't want to tease anything.
Well, I don't. Well, we can tease whatever you want. What do you want to tease?
Well, it's clear the big conversation piece is Michael Todd and Devon Larratt, some official rules. Like we should just hold off on a little. Am I wrong that that's? Do you go with the big stuff first? What are your thoughts?
No, I don't know. I don't know if there's enough of that data for arm wrestling enthusiasts.
Like, for instance, Greg Gray.
Oh yeah,
Greg.
Yeah.
Like we talk about that after Devon Larratt.
Well, yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, it goes against the typical thought process that media has been using for the last 75 years. What was that little Zimbabwe biltong Western Survivor beef jerky?
Oh, you already know the brand name?
Yeah, I have some.
Have you tried this one?
I have not tried the Zimbabwe biltong. It looks very intense.
Stop, Camille Regina Mala. What do you mean? I mean, we got a couple hours to fill. You don't want to go right with the money. Here's the deal. I got a couple So here's the deal. I have some thoughts from the Matt Craig. It's going to lead into my thing. I love on talk shows, they don't save the biggest guests for the last.
Be careful, Gary. Joe Mama hates your guts. If I know anything about Joe Mama, it's that he hates your guts.
Joe Mama. The interesting thing is Joe Mama, he probably remembers the exact moment he started disliking me, and I have no idea. It all blurs together. Julian, you're going to have to, we do a little intro first. If you paid attention in the past, we usually get a little one-on-one time before we bring in a third, you know what I'm saying? So you just hang out. We appreciate you. But just hang out for a second. I don't know if you've noticed, but I cannot get he packages it well. Okay, so sponsors. Who's your sponsors?
My sponsors, I got all sorts of good sponsors. I'm an officially sponsored athlete by NatFit. Of course, I'm sponsored by Pound for Pound Arm Wrestling. Go to poundforpoundarmwrestling.com for everything arm wrestling. And then buy some stuff and use code Uncle John for 15% off your entire order. How do you like that?
That's awesome.
Hey, we got a super chat already from Justin Cyrillic. Says, thanks for putting on these shows, guys. I just want to say that the USA is going to destroy Canada in the up-and-coming match. Devon may win one, but that's it. What? I am infuriated by those comments.
Is that... I haven't heard a ton of USA versus Canada. I mean, is that... Do we look at it like that?
It's interesting. This is the very first time... Thank you, Justin, by the way. Thank you very much. It's the very first time I've heard USA versus Canada used as a metaphor for the match. Metaphor is probably the wrong word, but as being brought into it that way. And I've never really thought about that way either. I feel like Michael and Devon are so internationally recognized in the sport of arm wrestling that it's not necessarily about country. I think for a lot of people it is, and I think it's fine if it is, but to me, it feels bigger. It feels bigger, and I think it should, right? Is this not the biggest match possibly ever in the history of arm wrestling? Is it not?
Is it?
I don't know.
I
What do
mean,
you think, chat? Is this the biggest? Is this the best? And Justin, he says, haha, sorry, John. No, it's great. It's great to bring that up. I love the idea. But is this not the biggest match of all time? When you consider the hype that's going into it, when you consider the fact that it's the rubber match, when you consider the fact that it's in the middle of a pandemic and we haven't had a big match in months. Yeah.
okay, let's put a pin in it.
Yeah.
Let's put a pin in it.
Let's do that.
You watched the Cobra Rhodes clip that we put up?
Oh, so good. What year was that from?
That was 2007.
2007. And that was like a special ESPN event type thing?
Well, it was a professional arm wrestling conference, had work to deal with Mohegan Sun and ESPN to air that. The reason I bring it up, because it's an amazing clip. If you guys haven't watched it yet, please do go watch it. But in that clip, Cobra Rhodes says something somewhat perhaps offensive to Canadians. He's
I don't know if I caught it.
What?
Did I not catch it?
Oh my, are you serious? Oh,
What did he say? What did he say?
After the match was over, he's talking to the ref and he's like, I wasn't trying to fight you on the grip. I was limp like a Canadian. You didn't you didn't catch that?
I didn't. Well, I probably don't because I'm not Canadian, right? Like I don't trigger. I don't trigger.
I was wondering, I was like, oh, is this acceptable in today's world? I was limp like a Canadian.
Oh, I think Canadians are just going to be like, oh, ho, 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 ho. What about that, Gary Roberts?
It made me think, like, where did he come up with that? Like, is that
Cobra has a long history with Canada, right? So Cobra, very, very good friends with Gary Goodridge, who's from Canada. Cobra was up here in like the 80s and 90s nonstop. So he's just giving some shit to, his Canadian brethren. I would imagine. I mean, I'll talk to him. I'm going to go on with Cobra tomorrow night on my show. So I'll ask him tomorrow what his deal, because he very well could just say, I don't know, Canadians, they got limp wrists. What can I say?
I just thought, I was like, am I missing out on something? Like, is this an inside joke that I don't know about, or is just Cobra being funny? So anyways, yeah, I would like some perspective. Joe Mama says he does watch all Gary's old content. He doesn't hate me. However, you were hard on me in the early Beauty and the Beast Travis Bajent days, which, hey, dude, Travis Bajent and he's MIA, dude. He's not responding to my texts. I asked him today. He said we're good last week, but I asked him today, hey, is the show dead? Like,
yeah,
I need to know. Like, I don't know if he's busy. I don't know if he's shunned all social media. I don't know any details about Travis's life. All I know is I was shocked to find out that he was not at the Gnarly Gar in Texas.
Was he supposed to be?
I guess he was sick.
Oh, that turned out to be a good show. A lot of good pullers down there.
Oh, did you catch that segue? So I put in the title, Greg Gray lost.
Yeah.
Greg Gray lost that match. And I want to explain that because to me, it's pretty powerful.
It was very, very interesting. More interesting, because here's the deal. Everybody going into it was like, they're going to fight. Matt Craig was like, we're going to fight. Greg Gray was like, we're probably going to fight. And no fighting. But interesting things. Mike's Madness with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Mike. He says, I can hear Travis yelling, no one cares about them. I'm their effing daddy.
Mike's Madness, I missed his super chat. My wife was calling me on last week's show to like, hey, I need you to help me with my son. and I missed a Mike's Madness super chat,
Uh-oh.
which
Did you write it down?
I didn't get it. I didn't understand. He was saying I'm new to arm wrestling, so I'm still learning, but I can pull a Travis at least once or something.
Yeah, maybe he wants to pull with Travis once or something like that. Or, you know, here's what will happen if you pull with Travis once. You will be disappointed.
No, no, no. He says I'm still learning to pull, but I can dang sure go Travis Bajent on a set. LOL.
I can still go with Travis Bajent on a set.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if he was talking about like a set grip. He could cheat like Travis. That's kind of
I think maybe he's talking about like partying or drinking or something like that. I don't know. Maybe not. We do have 2 more super chats though. Joe Mama coming through with that big $5 love. He says, I don't hate Gary. I appreciate all of his old content, his inability to form a coherent thought, and his insistence on interrupting annoy me. I would say I think maybe it's because we've been spending so much time talking to each other, but I wouldn't agree with inability to form a coherent thought. Insistence on interrupting, I'll probably give Joe that.
well, I interrupt here far less than I interrupted on Travis. But
Yeah, sure.
dude, it was part of the thing with Travis.
Yeah, it was part of the game, right?
It was part of the inside joke.
Yeah.
Like he literally told me I want to do a podcast, but I want to do a podcast with somebody who's not afraid to interrupt me.
How's my audio?
What's up? We can
Terrible.
hear you.
Terrible.
Are you still at work?
Yeah, I'm at work. They put me on night.
Oh man, what do you work on an oil train?
Yeah, I fill up rail cars
Nice.
full of diesel.
Oh, that's kind of awesome. Okay, hang on, Julian. We're gonna have a few questions for you. You were in Texas, correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay, okay. So before I got a couple people in the waiting room. Stand by, stand by. So here's the thing. Greg Gray. I've known Greg Gray way back in the day. Way back in the day. I had nothing against the man. He came on our show and he was kind of rude to me a little bit. And I was maybe rude to him, but I still have like a sour taste in my mouth from Greg Gray. So that's why I'm kind of like not afraid to be a little hard on him right here. But I will say this, Matt Craig, I don't know anything about Matt Craig's arm wrestling ability. I took Matt Craig to be newer. So Greg Gray, to me, has established himself. He came out the clear in my mind when this match came to be. I was like, oh, he's the clear, like,
he's the favorite.
He's the favorite. He's the guy. Then all the social media, blah, 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 blah. And I'm kind of into it. I do like trash talking. I feel like they got a little.
Well, it made it feel more real to me.
Yeah, no, sure. But they got a little immature in the trash talk, just slightly, a little.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I'm now more inclined to watch this. Where it really turned south for me was Greg Gray whining about the difference on the weigh-ins, what's fair. And I was like, come on, you're the favorite, bro. Like, what are you worried about? You whining to me shows hella weakness. Like, if I'm Greg Gray, I don't know why I would be worried at all about Matt Craig at this point in my career. I'd be like, I'm not going to take him lightly, but I'm not going to be like whiny about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but they're trash talking. I'm interested. I want to watch. So I turn on this live stream and I feel like now, both of you guys know that my annoyance with like watchability and arm wrestling, wanting to be spectator friendly, engaging. In the first 3 minutes is Greg Gray whining about why they're not directly starting in a strap, find the rule, find my cell phone, scanning over text messages. And all I'm thinking to myself, are you serious? Like, this was the clear favorite. What are you doing? Every second that guy wasted, he looked weak to me. And he started to like lose ground. If I was somebody interested in potentially sponsoring arm wrestling, or I was his sponsor, I'd be highly disappointed at his lack of ball sack that he showed on the intro of this match. And again, because he annoyed me the last time he's on the show, I'm going a little bit harder here, not caring. Usually, you know, I'd be concerned with somebody like what they're thinking about me, but he wasn't on my favorite list. So I'm so annoyed that this guy, and all I'm thinking, as much as I was starting to dislike the strap and how it impacted arm wrestling, because of Greg Gray, I want to have an arm wrestling event where you have no straps. I'm like solidified in my thinking, because is a guy who's supposed to be one of the guys in the United States absolutely that scared to arm wrestle without a strap that he's going to create a scene and delay the start of this match against a guy who literally he should not be as scared of? What are your thoughts, Uncle John?
All right, I do have thoughts, but let's catch up on super chats here. Daniel Urich from a little ways ago says, I'm sick too, sick of his crap. I don't recall who exactly he was talking about. Probably Gary or Travis. But we appreciate you, Daniel Urich, 100%, brother. Justin Cyrillic with another super chat. He says, I lost a little respect for Matt. Greg was a man of his word and called him, to put it nicely, a female dog. And Matt just stood there and took it. Mike's Madness with $4.99 super chat says, the last show you were talking about having a crazy guy on a set because it makes good film. I know better than to try to arm wrestle Travis. There you go. Okay, so
thank you for your money, peeps. We love it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys very, very much. Okay, so my concerns were twofold. Number one, Greg was very confused about the rules. And if I have a super match that's been boiling for this long and I'm this worked up about it, I'm going to damn well know what the rules are, right? Yeah, and I don't know the whole goings on, but I was watching and listening. And Greg said, we start in the straps. And Matt said, no, we do not. And then there was some discussion with the promoter, whoever that was, off camera. And they said, well, let's text Travis. And then Greg got his phone and he said, look, right here, it says WAL rules. And they told Greg, well, WAL rules do not start you in the straps.
Holy shit. Okay.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I feel like this is going to tie into Devon and Michael, because I have a question about that later. Exactly. It's so funny. Exactly. It's so funny that you mentioned this. Okay. So does WAL rules, I thought that was just for the set, not necessarily. Is they don't go automatically to the straps?
No, you get a grip for 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds and then it automatically goes to a strap. Or any slip will get you to a strap as well. So it's insanely easy, incredibly easy to get a strap in the WAL setup.
And Greg's good at that.
Well, this is my question. Is he good at it? If he's good at it, or did he not understand the rules, or can he not slip, or does he not want to spend any time in the setup whatsoever because he's going to gas right away?
Here's my takeaway, because I was there live.
Yeah.
In the mix of all of it, literally 5 feet away. My thing was, the reason why I think Greg Gray did all that was for mind games, to throw Matt smooth off his game, and it worked.
Think so? You think so?
Well, Matt told me with all the games, him coming up calling him a bitch, and you know, all the drama and all the games he was playing, threw Matt off his game a little bit. And Greg came in and did what he had to do and won. Very, very, very convincingly.
Okay, but is this not, I get playing games with an equal, but this was supposed to be Greg Gray saying, who is this guy thinks he can compete with me? I'm like the man, and who are you?
Well, look, but you're talking, Gary, you're talking from the standpoint of presenting yourself in a certain way to look as good as possible. That's not necessarily the way everyone goes into a match. If it's true that Greg Gray did that in order to play head games, he's mega, because that means he does not care that he looks like a bitch, because it did kind of make him look like a little bit of a bitch.
Like you were saying, go ahead.
But I was just going to reiterate, if he truly did mean to do that as a means to distract, as a means to get inside of Matt's head, then that's high level.
Well, like you were saying, no one goes into a super match that's this big not knowing the rules.
Right.
You know,
well, that's the other thing.
Saying?
That's the thing, right? That's the thing. It's like Greg Gray. I have Greg Gray at a certain level in my mind. He has to know. He has to know these things. So that would be more of an explanation.
Hola, cabros del Facebook. Hoy me tiro un peo.
That's not good, Gary.
Hola, cabros del Facebook.
That's not good, Gary.
Oh God.
What was it? What was it?
It was not good. Whatever it wasn't as bad as some of the stuff I've seen on here, but
yeah.
There was nudity. Oh, okay.
No nudity.
To me, I just saw nothing but weakness. Matt Craig just sitting there going, "Oh man." I mean, it was ridiculous, bro. I'm sorry. If you're that above and beyond your competitor, you don't need to.
Maybe he thought that he wasn't. Maybe he thought he really wasn't that far ahead of Matt, so he had to play some games to get him off his game and to get Greg into his game.
So
I don't know.
Is Greg Gray, can he not arm wrestle outside of a strap?
No, everybody at the event told me that he's a strap arm wrestler. He's you can beat it because he has no hand.
Okay, I've made the decision.
I didn't grip up with him. So
I've made the decision, dude. I'm gonna have an event. I know arm wrestlers are all gonna hate it. I just need 8 guys that are willing to bite. I'm gonna see what happens. We have no straps. There'll be if I don't want to strap, or if I don't want to go in a power hook, then I got to do my best not to let this slip. And the thing is once we get in our top 8, if these guys cannot stay held on, we will put them to the back of the line and give 2. The reason why I'm liking this, because in the ROTN format is like, I might go undefeated at 10-0, and then I get to somebody where we just can't hang on. We both get to the back of the line, and the 2 fresh pullers get to come up and get a start. And I like that idea that we give fresh faces an opportunity to get a table. So I'm going to see. I do not like, in the wall world, I do not like that you've told me that since I've been gone, all arm wrestlers have become dependent on a strap, so much so that they
most of them.
Literally, that makes me want to pick a new lane, and I want to see what happens, because I think that that's a huge weakness. That's a huge flaw. That's like in a boxing world, everyone agreeing to just one arm to box. Like, okay, let's just tie our one hand to our sides. We don't need to be a balanced competitor, and we're just going to buy. Like, no, I think you need to be able to do, you need to be balanced. You need to have a little bit of everything. So
that's my philosophy on left-hand arm wrestling.
Yeah. So thank you, Greg Gray. But because of your bitchness displayed in Texas, I'm going to have an event, no straps. And I hope you all complain to death, because guess what? You may complain all you want, but your shit will watch it. I promise you, you will still watch it. You may be scared to death of coming to my event, but you'll watch, you'll click. I'll get your views anyways. Bam. Am I wrong in calling Greg Gray a little biatch?
Well, I mean,
you're a grown man, Gary.
His way of going about things, that's just the way he is, or he has a master plan. So he must have, one way or another, realized he was going to look like that. So either he doesn't know or he's totally fine with it because he wants to win above all else. I think Greg is a great arm wrestler, very good. But I think the real thing to take away from the whole tournament, Matt Craig actually came out looking better for the ass whipping he took right-handed. He performed so well left-handed that like I was like, okay, yeah, Matt Craig's left hand is a legitimate thing that people should worry about, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got a strong left hand.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do believe that's his better hand too.
I didn't watch the left-handed. Sorry, Matt. But I have a question. In the wall rules, it really is if we can't get a grip, we go right to the strap. That's
30 seconds. Yeah. Immediately go to strap.
Why? What happened to arm wrestling that we don't
because they
have
want to speed everything up. WAL did it because they want to speed everything up, right? They don't want 60 seconds of finding a grip. And
no,
then
but you still should. Fine, 30 seconds to get a grip, but you should still have a match.
Yes, but Gary, you're missing the end point, which we still haven't really focused on, which is what do you do instead of the strap?
Well, listen, I'm doing my experiment. Fine. But you just said the wall rules, if you can't get a grip, you go straight to the strap. What happened to the match with a slip?
Because everybody just slip. I told you this a million times, Gary. Any professional arm wrestler can slip at any time, imperceptibly.
I refuse to believe that there's not one arm wrestler on the wall lineup that can arm wrestle without a strap.
Well, I'm sure there is. There definitely is. But it's just a lot more likely that you do go to strap because you have two guys in every match. And the guy that wants to go to the strap is the guy who gets to dictate if you go to the strap in the WAL.
Right, but saying that if we can't get a grip, we immediately go to the strap, and that's a default rule, means every arm wrestler's just agreeing we're going to slip anyways. Like, what happened to arm wrestling like a normal with hands? Come on.
You got to go. You got to go to a different league.
No, I don't. What happened? How?
The WAL inserted entertainment, and they had a very specific idea of how they want their matches to flow. And they want to kick that gripping up in the start where everybody screws around and all this stuff. They wanted to eliminate that. So then they went to a set grip, close your thumbs, close your hands, go. And if you're screwing around in that, boom, we're going to straps automatically. And that's one of the reasons that all this stuff has emerged.
And I'm perfectly fine with messing with the getting to a quicker grip. But to say that there's not good arm wrestling outside of a strap is just horse pucky.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree. I think there's plenty of interest to be had in it, but the rules about slipping are what need to change, right? So if you just have regular rules on slipping, I will slip 100% of the time and not be called for a slip by the rules that are set forth by any association, right? By any league.
Are you saying too that you can't arm wrestle outside of a strap?
Of course I can. But I would prefer to arm wrestle in a strap.
Why?
Because it's easier for me. I have a higher win percentage.
There you go.
So why would I not do it if I can win 75% of my matches, my local matches in a strap, but I can only win 55% out of a strap? And it's free for me to get into a strap. Why would I not take the strap as someone who's looking to win?
Okay, you know what comes to mind for something like someone said my boxing was a terrible analogy. I'm thinking Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome or The Gladiator, where they like have hand-to-hand combat, where they're like, you could choose. You could have you either start hand-to-hand or then you upgrade to the weapons. It feels to me like you've cheated, not you per se, but you who agree with this have cheated the world of arm wrestling to have eliminated the before the strap essence of arm wrestling. Like you're just going right to the strap. It's like you're eliminating the hand-to-hand actual. You're going right to the weapons.
That's only in WAL though.
Right.
That's true. So like around here,
and Travis's league.
To
they're
hear
the
you
only
guys,
two.
but to hear you guys like it and support that nonsense is like,
I don't. I
It's
don't.
like,
But it's part of arm
supposed to
wrestling.
do, Gary? What am I supposed to do? Like put on a petition and get the rules changed? Like here in Atlantic Canada, we still use CAWF rules. So I get a nice long time. See, I love the early game because my hand will not get tired anymore. It will not get tired. I know my opponent's hand will get tired. I want 60 seconds to totally screw them. But guess what? I'm going to take that entire 60 seconds. They're going to put us in a ref script. Then I'm going to slip. Then we're going to go to straps. So you can get me into straps in 30 seconds, or I can make it last for 90 seconds. That's why the rule is there, because they want to eliminate that extra time. I know I'm not saying like I would much prefer WAF rules across the board, but those are longer matches.
okay, if we talk about the King's move, if you're strapped to your opponent, it gives you such an advantage to be able to just rely on like your body weight and that leverage and pulling up, versus if there's no strap and you have to hold on to your competitor. It's like a game changer in terms of the strategy you're able to use. And to me, stupid to eliminate it. I'm
As a promoter or as an arm wrestler?
just as trying to, if you're trying to elevate the sport to the next level, you've cheated some really good shit by justifying a world where we just are automatically tied together, where we can use all sorts of crazy leverage because we can't let go. For instance, if you and I go to the gym and what a test of strength is, hanging from a bar, I'm gonna hang from a bar for time. You and I both grip up, we're hanging there. And it's like, how long can you go? How long can you go? Over a minute, under a minute? Now someone comes along and says, oh, I'm just going to duct tape your shit there. And you hang as long as your joint is like, it's like, it
Like
takes out, it takes out a level of strength testing and really annoys
Well, arm wrestling is not just a strength sport. That's the problem.
Oh, not anymore.
Oh,
Maybe back in the day.
Dude,
but
I'm going to.
Hey, we got another super chat from Jace. He says, Uncle John has weak hands and wrists. That is definitely not what your mom said.
Whoa.
Louis CK says, Gary sounds like he has a personal vendetta with the strap because he hasn't learned it. Louis, I actually, back in my day, used to get some pretty good wins in the strap. I got no strap game right now. That is a fact. My vendetta against straps is when I'm trying to produce something that's watchable for YouTube, putting on the strap killed momentum. When we had our Waxahachie event, it just killed it. You could see, the crowd begin to glaze over every time they're adding the strap. And so as a producer, as someone who's trying to produce content, I don't like it.
So I think the one key for because we're going to keep on having these conversations, right? I think it's really important when we have these conversations to say, right now, I am speaking as someone trying to entertain non-arm wrestlers versus I'm speaking as an arm wrestler, right? Because those are two very, very, very different things. And arm wrestlers are not generally opposed to those changes because we've taken them on before, right? Before the WAL, arm wrestling worked differently. And now WAL has changed things across the board in a lot of situations. So it's just a matter of finding the right way to introduce it. And you might have the right way, Gary.
I mean, here's the thing. I get it. Maybe my idea of eliminating the strap is incorrect, but I know for a fact skipping over the non-strap arm wrestling is definitely not the right thing. That's definitely not the right thing to do.
All right, hold on. Arm wrestling news. All right, we're going to prove a point here. Arm wrestling news. Professional arm wrestlers can get the slip 100% of times. How many times was Devon able to slip against Dennis, Uncle John? Pradeep, here's your problem. This is called a bell curve. Okay.
Wait. Why? I don't understand what he.
So he's trying to take a dig at what I said, because I said elite arm wrestlers are 100% of the time going to be able to get a slip. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a bell curve. All arm wrestling exists on the bell curve. Out here, you got very, very, very bad arm wrestlers. Out here, very, very, very good arm wrestlers. When you get so far out here, these are called outliers, right? They don't really conform to what's normally happening in the big part of the bell. And when you get out here, all sorts of weird shit happens. So when you have Dennis and you have Devon, the rules tend to break down. There's your answer.
I could agree with that. And listen,
Uncle John, you're awesome.
what triggered me was when you said, or now we're going to bring up Devon and Michael's rules with Bill Collins.
Yep.
When the words were said, we can't get a grip, we automatically put the strap. It's so weird to me. Greg Gray complaining about the strap, and then when they talk about 30 seconds, they were like, okay, well, let's pretend like we fought for the grip. 30 seconds has been killed, and they go right to the strap anyways. It's just mind-boggling to me that Greg Gray doesn't have to be exposed outside of a strap, that he could complain, wait, and then the 30 seconds are wasted. That yes, maybe he owns Matt Craig, but the fact that I didn't get to see Greg Gray outside of a strap is the worst thing in the world. That is so dumb. Okay.
On a side note, Robbie Burnett smashed Chainsaw and held it down for Texas, baby.
Yeah, that was good. Those are good matches.
I did see that. Okay. I want to, okay, we'll talk about that event since you were there. How much time do we have of yours, Julian? Because I want to know about that event.
Well, I'm gonna jump back on because I'm about to have to move cars here in a minute, so I'll be jumping back on here in a little bit.
Okay.
I just want to let y'all know I got second place, left hand, and I got smack right and left hand in the pro class. But it's all good. It's all good. I'll be back on here in a little while.
See you in a bit.
Congratulations. Okay, so let's move on. I had to tirade on that. Come on.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. And I don't want my comments to you to be taken as Gary, you suck. I'm just trying to elucidate the points as I see them, as what is happening in modern arm wrestling.
No, that's not my point. My point is it's clear in the chat. People are like, you're an idiot. Let's move on. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, I get it. It's not the most amazing topic. But to me, like if Greg Gray wants to be ranked up there, you definitely do not move up the rankings with that kind of whiny, I don't arm wrestle outside of the stretch stuff. Okay. I would like to say something about, and maybe I went hard on Greg Gray, but he was kind of a jerk to me.
I don't know, but we got Cobra Rhodes in the chat. What's up, Cobra? Cobra has a solution. He says, I am the strap.
Yeah. Cobra, I think regarding the strap, he's got my favorite, like, I think he was the first person who ever said, like, to me, like, the strap tells no lies. Like, it's the strap. Okay. I got something to say before we go into the details of it.
Okay.
It is really cool. If you go over to Devon's channel, there's a Zoom call between Bill Collins, Devon, and Michael. And I was thinking that this was going to be a discussion of like what has been agreed on.
Right.
I was pleasantly surprised to see that this was like the hashing out of what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I was like,
I didn't know yet.
This is what is so cool about the internet, that we get to see them, like Bill Collins, like, hey, this is the first time I'm talking to you guys. And that was like amazing.
Yeah.
We're allowed to
privy to it.
Yeah. We're privy to this kind of stuff. So anyways, you didn't usually get that, back in the day.
Never,
right?
never.
So it's great that can serve as like content for them to deliver, as well as delivering important information for us, and they get to hammer it out. You just watched it, right?
Yeah, I just watched it. I took notes on the second half, but the first half I was kind of half doing other stuff and didn't get the full. I pretty much came in. I heard a few things. It's going to be best of 6 with the round 7 will be the decider if necessary. And then they were talking about the King's move ruling, with the specifically being the angle of the humerus pointing downwards towards the body. But I didn't quite catch if that was just going to be a foul. I'm assuming it's just going to be a foul.
Okay, say that again. Sorry, I was reading the chat.
So they were talking about the ruling for King's move, and they were talking about the angle of the humerus being angled down towards the body, and that would dictate King's move position. But then they also talked about neutral and losing position, and I have to watch it again to really see. I think they define losing.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's very interesting that you brought that up, because they said, so they're doing the 3 fouls, right? You caught that earlier?
Say it one more time.
3 fouls.
Yes, 3 fouls instead of 2.
So the thing that with the King's move, like, and I love that they kind of brought in the Bob Brown, the humerus, like if it goes like that, that's So this could be a game changer, and they did not necessarily iron it out. So I think there's still more to be talked about here.
Probably.
Because in wall, if I dip down, like they were like, hey, warning, like don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to give someone a warning, or are they just going to straight up call a foul?
Well,
because if they call a foul, then it's a running foul.
Right.
And you have to win.
Correct.
To get a restart.
Correct.
I mean, that's like a game changer, right?
Well, okay. So here, for those who are not in the know, basically what they're doing is they're combining WAL rules with Arm Wars rules, because Arm Wars uses a 2 foul system, but it's running fouls. So for example, if Gary and I are arm wrestling and I elbow foul, the foul will be called, but the match will continue. If Gary wins that match, he just wins the match. If I win the match restarts and I have 1 elbow foul. Now, if I elbow foul, the match continues, and then you elbow foul, then the match restarts.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
So to me, this is something they really got to hammer out. Because if I'm in what Michael Todd calls an open top roll, and I'm in a good position, not King's move according to this yet. If I just slightly go down there, is it an auto foul? Because if it's an auto foul, not only do I'm already in that position, I gotta wear my Devon layered out, then I gotta come back, then I gotta win, only to restart it. Another match.
But that foul is only going to come in the losing position, which that's generally where it happens. But with that humerus rule, we've seen Michael do variations of the King's move without needing to go underneath the table. His arm will lock out with his humerus still being straight.
Right, but you don't necessarily need to go under the table to get into what they talked about, where the humerus is slightly with the shoulder. You know what I mean? It's not.
It's incredibly tricky. It's incredibly tricky. Joe Mama just said, Uncle John, can we not make the King's move real simple by just saying anytime the shoulder dips below, it's a foul regardless of position? No, and that's the problem, because as a top roller who pulled out of position many, many years, I can be in a losing position, but still be going below the table, right? So if I'm a poor arm wrestler and I have poor position, I'm going to top roll here and I'm going to be in a winning position, but my shoulder is actually going to be below the table, but in a winning position. So anytime your shoulder, a lot of people have shoulders that go underneath the table. It's just a matter of making the rule and then sticking to the rule. Okay, so if they say anytime the humerus goes in this downward position, as long as Bill Collins, anytime in a losing position where that humerus goes down, Bill needs to lay down the foul. He must do it, because that's what they're lacking in the WAL, or they have lacked in the WAL in the past. They have the rule, but they don't call it all the time.
So here's now someone saying, oh, Michael Todd does not need the King's move. He does not need the king's move. But when he's in that position, what he will tend to do is he will tend to try to drive up to get a little bit more hand. He wants to get a little bit more outside. So he will drive up to try to get a little better hand position and come back down. It's not like going under the table per se, but it is attempting to get high up on Devon to come out.
Yeah, he will push forward. And it's going to be a fine line. And Michael, if he decides, and Devon too, either one of these guys, if they decide to go the king's move route, they will have to ride that line, because at some level, it will be Bill Collins' discretion. On some level, they can only make these things so specific, and that's what they're going to have to ride, in my opinion. Chris Gammo says, what if you elbow foul twice in one match? So in this match, nothing will happen. But here's a good explanation. If Gary and I are arm wrestling, I elbow foul once, keeps going. I elbow foul again, keeps going. Elbow foul a third time, Gary wins.
Yeah, because they have three fouls.
Three running fouls and you're done.
If you elbow foul twice, you still got to win for the opportunity to restart. Lewis
K says MMT has zero shot without the king's move. Devon will wreck him in a traditional hook. Ooh.
So I would like to give a shout out. Congratulations to Bill Collins for getting the call to be the man.
Biggest match ever.
Congratulations to him. I seem to think him and I are on our road to repairs, if you will.
Good.
Establishing a relationship again.
Nice.
So that is great news. I wanted to ask about something. So when they were talking about in the beginning of the video that you said you weren't really taking notes on, so I'm not sure if you heard this part, but they were talking about, is it good for spectators or not to, okay, what's better for TV? I go in, webs lined up, ready, don't move, go, ready, go right into the match, or a little bit of fighting for the grip and, as Michael says, fucking around, and a little bit of that jockeying, fighting for the grip. Is one better for the sport regarding spectators or not?
There seems to be ever since the WAL began, there seems to be a correlation in people's minds between the WAL grip and the WAL rule style and being better for entertainment. Now, I don't know if we have enough data to suggest that it's statistically significant in its difference, right? It's like WAL is awesome. It's no doubt bringing more people to the sport, but is their format, is their rule system the one to beat all the rest? I don't think anybody can make that assumption. And I don't know how much better it is for entertainment than the classic setup, because a lot of times people will talk to me and they'll be like, well, when you're gripping up, that's like the coolest part. People tell me that all the time, right? They're like, oh, it's so intense. Like, I don't know what you're doing up there, but it's like, you guys are really going. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. But so I don't know. Is that what people want? We don't have the data, unfortunately, on like focus group data. Maybe WAL has some somewhere, but I would love to see it.
Well, so the interesting thing is Devon Laird actually said the exact opposite. He said if we focus too much on the wall set grip, it could be stagnant for spectators. So he's like, I don't know if we want to do that. But then Michael Ted said, I don't want to F around. Like,
they were talking about the WAF grip, I think.
Right. But in the beginning, when it wasn't clear, Devon said, I'm not sure we should do a wall setup because it could be stagnant for the spectators. And then it went back to Michael and he's like, we should just do it. And then Devon agreed. But I thought that fact was interesting. Like, is it like, if you're running a tournament and you have you got to get through a lot of matches, I 100% get why you cut down the fight for the grip. If you have the best matchup of all time happening right here, pay-per-view, like, it may be better TV to let them fight a little bit. but
Mhm.
I don't know about like a long time, but they've
Yeah.
agreed to no F around. Just
They've agreed to WAL setup,
yeah.
which is 30 seconds to get your grip, which Michael correctly pointed out that in the last time they had a WAL match, they did get a start. They did get starts. They immediately slip, but they do get a start outside of the strap at least once.
And they both like the strap.
I mean, they both are at an elite enough level where they can both pull extremely well in the strap, and they expect to go there because they've evolved over the last 10 years as the strap has become more dominant.
It makes me want to know what a match would be if they had to arm wrestle first without a strap. Like
It would just be a slip, and then you'd have to decide what the promoter would have to decide what they do. I guarantee you.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'll tell you. ROTN, in my tournament, ready, don't move, go, and both competitors just go like this. You both get to the back of the line. Two new people. Like it just letting go. I just can't.
But you can't make that decision. This is my point. If I want the strap and my opponent does not want the strap, I will make it look like we both just let go. Unless you're at the extreme outlier end where your hand is so strong and you're dedicated to completely crushing your opponent's hand, it will happen. It will happen in 98.7% of matches.
Let me ask you this. In WAF, is there still intentional slip as a foul?
Yes, but intentional slip is defined very specifically. So even at WAF Worlds, tons of slips, tons of straps all over the place.
But is there so you're saying you don't see slip intentional?
There's two. Well, Gary, let me see. Oh, I don't know where I put it. I had the WAF rules laying around here somewhere.
While he's doing that, shout out to Polar Mag Nano Cruz. I wanted him to come on the show tonight so I can ask him some stuff about his channel. He didn't get back to my Facebook. Hey, Roger Learned. Dude, I sent you a text. You're not going to respond to me? I want to talk to you. Give me a call back. Come on, man.
Slip outs. Here you go, Gary. Here's the specific rules for slip outs from the WAF in the most updated rule set. Yes, which I just do have right next to my desk. Slip outs. The referee will call one foul for causing a slip out when there's three ways. One, you lift your fingers off the opponent's hand prior to a slippage. So, when a guy is like a top roller, yeah, and they do this thing and then they try to come out like that.
Yeah.
That's one.
Obvious.
Number two, you close your fingers as to make a fist inside your opponent's hand. So you're getting top rolled, you come inside and you take your fingers and intentionally come out. That's number two. Number three, you're in a break wrist position and you pull your fingers inside your opponent's hand, therefore being unable to hold your grip. Those are the only three ways you can be called for an intentional slip, be called a foul on an intentional slip.
And you're saying you can slip without doing any of those and no one will know?
Kidding me? Yes. 95% of arm wrestlers outside of amateur can do it.
Okay, let me ask you this. I have an ROTN event, and if two competitors just slip apart, they both since you aren't penalized for losing in ROTN, you only stop your road path forward. So you just go to the back of the line. Is that a
if you just say, look, any slip is an automatic back of the line loss for both competitors, I mean, I don't know what would happen. It would be interesting to see.
No, here's what I'm thinking. On a ready go match, slip, then power hook. Boom.
Yep.
If we can't stay together on a power hook, we slip apart, then you're into the back of the line. That's what I'm thinking.
It's possible. It's possible. Lewis K says it gets called all the time in the normal rules. Absolutely no, it does not get called all the time in normal rules. Absolutely not anywhere in any of the tournaments I'm watching. In the United States, outside of nationals, I don't know if I've really ever seen it get called. In Canada, it does get called at nationals, and when it's really, really egregious. But 90, Josh Rowe says John has to be specific as to say 95%. Thanks to Arm Wrestling News. Yes, you're right. 97.85% of the time it will not be called. And I am telling you, 100% of the time that I slip, I am doing so intentionally. 100% of the time. So I would love to try some other ways around it, but I think they just have to be tried, right? I would love to try Power Lock tournament. I think I'll suck. I think I'll suck at it, but I would try it.
Roger Lerner, come into the show. I have some questions about this Texas event. The link is in the description.
Okay, Lewis K clarified his statement. Thanks, Lewis. Appreciate that. Justin Cyrilic with another $5. He says, how are you going to call that, Gary? I slip accidentally, and then you're going to penalize me for it. So what if it is truly an accidental slip?
Well, and like I said, a slip. So I believe in the intentional slip. If you're doing any of those situations, then it's a foul on you in the restart. It's not a strap. On my events, if you're intentionally slipping, and because it's obviously you do not want to arm wrestle without a strap, I am not going to reward you with a strap. I'm going to do my best. You may be able to trick me, but Scott Wynn says that he knows when you were literally just trying to avoid arm wrestling.
Scott Wynn says you shouldn't arm wrestle multiple times in a row because you're going to get hurt.
I mean, right. But he says as a ref that he can tell when you guys just don't want to arm wrestle.
Yeah, he's not right. He's not right. I will slip for him 100 times, and then we'll see how many times he actually gets it right. And I do not believe it will be any closer than 50%.
So Justin, I'm not sure if you watched the other ROTN stuff. It's like, hey, if you know the rules and you've made it into the finals, and you know that if you intentionally slip, you regrip. And if you literally cannot hold onto each other, and then you got to go into a power hook, and then you still both roll out and slip apart. If you can't get a pin, you go to the back of the line. I mean,
the G Brown 86 does bring up a point. He says judgment call each time. Obviously, you could just say, well, here's the deal. We've got a referee here, and he's the one that's going to make the call. I mean, you could just say that. And then if Scott Wynn is calling him, then it's just going to be like slip back to the line, slip back to the line.
I've been talking about it before, guys. I'm just trying to speed up my my production.
Oh, is that actually Roger?
Yeah, that's Roger. Roger, what's the crazy noise, bro? Turn down your speaker, Roger. If you're in the chat, I'm curious to know, do you think anyone has changed their opinions on who will win?
Oh, what's that now?
Like 3 weeks ago when we said, hey, put 1 if you got Devon, put 2 if you got Michael Todd. And then if we calculate arm wrestling.
Scott Wynn says you shouldn't arm wrestle multiple.
Roger, you got to turn it down. If we did the poll and it was like 60-40 for Devon, do you think the numbers are still 60-40 3 weeks later? Or do you think it's
I think, well, it's where is the poll posted? That has a big part to do with it. If you just post
people right here
closer than 50%.
Roger, he's listening to the show and not us.
It's like it's probably going on in the background or something like that.
Roger, you got to turn down the show and be on the Zoom part. Give me a thumbs up because I can't see you.
Also, a lot of people talking about accidentally slipping. I don't believe there is such a thing as accidental slipping.
You go to the back of the line. I didn't unmute him. That was
weird. There is no accidental slipping. Either you have bad form and someone lets you go, or like that's it, right? Either I choose to hold on to you or I choose to let you go. Like accidental slipping, I don't think really happens beyond the amateur level.
I'm bringing the hand back, man. I'm making the hand cool again.
But the hand is what dominates in the strap, man. People, I'm telling you, this idea that the bicep is king in the strap, there's a lot more to it than that, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot more to it than that.
Hey, no matter, Roger, I can't see you. Tell me when you're caught up, mute, and let me see you. Okay. The more like kind of the boiling down of this that I got was Michael Todd prefers to go up there, have no BS, set grip, get right to the match. And am I incorrect in thinking that that is never going to happen? Devon Larratt is all about the pregame.
Wait, say that first part again.
Michael Todd doesn't want any. He wants to get up and get to a ready go and just And Devon Larratt doesn't do that.
Devon's going to screw with him.
Devon plays. Like,
dude, did you see the whole interaction where Devon was like agreeing to all these rules, and then Michael was like, well, what's your lane then, Devon? Devon's just going to lose all these things. And Michael was like, and then Devon was like, yeah, Michael. Yeah. And I just saw him like, pulling his web in, and Michael's just like wriggling around, and Devon's just pulling that web. It's already begun. Devon is going to do something that is unexpected. I don't know what it is, but he is going to do something that is unexpected. And I have a feeling it's going to be quite amazing.
Yeah.
It'll either go really, really well or fail spectacularly.
Hey, Scott, buddy Scott's in the chat. Hey, Scott, welcome to the show, man. What's up? Thanks for watching. I agree with you. Have you paid your pay-per-view? I just signed up.
I was actually looking at it the other day and I couldn't get it to work on my phone. So I was glad that you put the link up there, because I was going to get the link on my computer and get it that way.
If you go to the rules video under Devon's channel, the link is there. Core Sports, I think. Anyways, so I can't remember if I heard the answer to your question. Do you think anyone's changed their minds, or they're solid? Like,
it's hard to say. Devon was hidden away on that call, but Devon's face looked like my face when I was 320 pounds. I'll tell you that much. He's got the pumpkin training in the face going on. He's looking big. So that might influence people.
Oh, Roger's driving. Oh, he's still on the road. That's right.
Oh, because he's still coming back because they stayed late.
Oh, well, it's fine. We'll let you in dark, bro, but you at least got to turn your audio off. Is there anything else that's new? Since last week?
No, I think there's still, I think the table it's just going to be like a PAL, like a regular WAF table, probably a Mazarenko table with the 7x7 pad last I heard. I would say overall at this point, it's getting closer than farther away.
Yeah.
It's very, like, for me, if I take myself out of it and I just look at everything, it's really, really, really difficult to make a call at this point.
I find it surprising no one's talked about the time of day that this will take place. Is this like on Dubai time?
I don't think anybody knows.
Will they be doing it like for an American audience?
I would hope so, because I have to imagine that that's where 90% of the views are coming from. Don't you think?
So what would be, is there a magic number to get your max pay-per-view potential?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like if it would be like midnight for me, and then like 10 o'clock for you, 8 o'clock for California. If that would be like, because that's kind of like, you know,
So they're like 8 hours ahead, right?
I think
of,
so,
of you,
something
or
like
six.
that.
I think they're like 8 hours. So right now it would be like 4 o'clock in the morning would be like 8 p.m.
Right. So
So
we would have to they would. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird.
so they would have to do like a midnight show to do
Yeah.
like an evening. It's like if you want to like Sunday night football, like 6 p.m., like that window. It'd be interesting. I haven't heard them talk about that.
No, and I'm sure they probably don't even know at this point. So right, it's 5:30 in the morning for them right now.
Uh,
That's a screwed up time zone to do
yeah,
stuff.
it's gonna make a difference for me because I'm gonna be uh on vacation. I'm actually going to the Virgin Islands, so
Oh,
I'm gonna be out of town. But guess what? Guess who's got the coolest wife in the world?
probably me, followed by you in a close second.
I got the coolest one. Today is my 2-year anniversary of being married, and she let me be on a podcast. So that's a sweet lady. Two, she's agreed that I can watch the show and not, we'll be on vacation.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet lady.
Joshua, that I agree. Very, very good stuff. Joshua Weeks says Michael Todd said it's going to be in the evening in Dubai, so 10 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, so that would make good sense, I guess. 10 o'clock Pacific, noon for Central, 2 o'clock for Atlantic.
And do you think that'll get the max views?
Well, it's I don't know if that's max views, but it makes sense that they're not doing it in the middle of the like early morning. I mean, it makes sense from a logistics standpoint.
9 p.m. Dubai would be good for most of the arm wrestling world. That's what Eric Rosen says.
So what is 9 p.m. Dubai? I don't even know. But yeah, some like I don't know. We'll find out. I'm assuming now we're at May 4 and we're just now maybe starting to see a little bit of a pickup with some of the talk about all this stuff. So I'm really waiting for like the big advertising to hit because I'm assuming there's going to be something at some point in time, but we'll see.
You know what I want to talk to Travis about?
I don't know why he treats you so poorly.
Well, there was 2 events in Texas, very close. He told me my format was on trial, and then they had like a seminar and an event like a month later within an hour of the location. I'm wondering, like, how did that work out? Like, which event won?
Oh, with like numbers and entries and all that.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. Like Julian, you were at both events, correct?
Yeah.
Which event did you like compare them? Rate the one
What,
that
the ROTN and the
like
last weekend?
Travis said that he wanted them like in the very beginning, he said he was going to do a seminar and then like a regular tournament. And I said, I don't want to do regular tournaments. I want to do the ROTN version. And he's like, okay, to get you on board, we'll do the ROTN. But now he's done both. And I was wondering from your perspective, what was more fun as far as like spectator?
I didn't get to compete in the ROTN, but for me, because I'm like Uncle John, the more I arm wrestle, the better I get. Like it takes a while for me to actually build up some serious fatigue. So I like the ROTN format, the marathon arm wrestling. I love it. But I also like the double elimination, classic style tournament. And I also like super matches. So I don't know. I'm not the person to ask because I like it all.
So in our event, we paid first through third, and there they just paid first 500. What was the better?
I definitely like your payout because even if you get third, you're still getting some slice of the cheese. And the only thing I was upset about this weekend is I didn't get they didn't have enough medals for some weird reason, and I didn't get my second place medal to go
What?
with all my other medals. So now I'm
Was this
missing a
Travis
medal.
event? Was this a Travis event?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
And Travis was sick. He wasn't there.
Yeah, he had the COVID.
Uh-oh.
That's what I was told, is he got the COVID.
Maybe
Travis
that's
got the
why he's not
COVID?
talking to you.
That's what I was told by several people, that he tested positive for COVID, and that's why he wasn't at the event.
People have been asking me about the Beating and the Beast show. I don't know, man. I want to do more. I love having the outlet to talk about things, and I enjoy talking with Travis, so I hope he comes back. But he hasn't messaged my text. If he's sick, I hope he gets better. Travis, give me a call, buddy. What was the highlights of the event regarding super matches or tournaments?
Everybody was super pumped about seeing Jason Tarver versus Luke Kent, which, by the way, Luke Kent came in and smashed everybody in Texas. Literally everybody.
Luke Kent
is a beast. Luke
Kent was supposed to arm wrestle the ROTN, but Travis said he should focus on the seminar, and save himself for the super match, which nobody knows.
I gotta say, because I didn't get to watch him at his seminar at the Waxahachie, but I got to watch the seminar here in Texas, and I like how he presents, how he teaches, and how he talks about arm wrestling and stuff. He breaks it down very kind of like Derek Smith. He breaks it down very well.
Awesome. Well, congrats to him. So you're saying no one even gave him a match? I did not watch the entire stream.
Matt Craig did a little bit left-handed. That was it.
Uncle John, you watched the whole thing? You watched
I haven't seen the whole thing, but I saw highlights. I saw the Chance Shaw stuff. I saw the Matt versus Luke. I mean, it just shows you because Luke Kent, I don't know where he's at exactly right now, but he's been hanging out in maybe forgive me if I'm wrong, but the 3 to 6 position in the WAL, right? He's behind a few other lightweights, but he goes to a tournament like this with also really strong, really, good dudes. And he's just kapow, 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 right? So it just shows you the levels, right? It's a really good example of the levels. The Luke Kent, don't mess with that guy.
And Jason Still, oh my God, that dude there. His hands made out of concrete or something, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's retarded.
We did have another super chat here from Random Admin. Thank you, Random Admin. $5 says, Michael says his BFR cuffs make him better when pumped, but does that training get him to a pumped state quicker in a real match with no cuffs? I'm not sure. I've never used BFR cuffs. I know that the evidence, evidence is not necessarily conclusive, but yeah.
Hey, Roger, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Dude,
you're in a tornado.
You're gonna have to take it off the Bluetooth and put your phone to your ear. We can only hear the wind.
Let's see if I can fix this.
Am I understanding that the BFR gets you in a state of working out while pumped, so when you're arm wrestling, it mimics the being pumped state and being able to arm wrestle while pumped?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's doing enough to be one of the best arm wrestlers on the planet and thinks it's successful, so I'll trust him for himself. But I would, I'd like to see more scientific data on it. Eric Rasin with a $13.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Eric. He says super chats are a bit light tonight. Let's get things rolling.
What?
I like your idea, Eric. I like your idea. How about those likes too? We got 108 people, 36 likes. We can get more likes than that.
Yeah, I don't have a like game. I'm terrible. My like ratio on ARMTV.
Well, here's the deal. We just are more interested in the talking, right? So we'll hit people up every now and again, but we really appreciate it when Eric Rasin brings it to the light, and guys like Daniel Urich, who's just consistently supporting. Love it. Thank you guys so much.
Arm Wrestling Makes the Moves says, I will send Julian my medal. Julian, see, coming on the show can get you a medal. Hey,
Hell yeah.
hit Julian up on Facebook. He wants that medal. He's new. He wants the medals. Roger Bailey.
What's up, boss man?
Dude, what? You're in Texas again?
I was.
What? Are you independently wealthy? How are you in Texas twice in a month?
I mean, I'm not wealthy by no means. I'm a debt collector, so I mean, it's a hard time. It's just I got lucky. I got family in Texas. I'm from Texas, so having a place down there is not hard. It's just gas money there and back. That's all I had to worry about.
Why twice though? Why are you so awesome? How did they get so blessed that you're like, because usually you come to Texas once is awesome, but to do it twice, it's like above and beyond. Like,
I love arm wrestling. I love going and meeting new people.
Hey, you know what? Roger also represents the biggest disappointment of the weekend, which was the fact that Barry Bourne once again backed out of a match he was originally planned to take on.
Yeah, he didn't want this. There's no way he was going to win. No way.
No, dude, you're going to crush that guy. Come on. You're going to crush that guy.
And he wouldn't have been able to show up anyways because one of his kids got COVID.
Oh, good.
Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. Did you read Chris Gamo's super chat?
I did not, but Chris Gamo, he said, here's a super chat for Devon's response to Rebecca Todd during today's Zoom call. Laughing my ass off. Did you guys see that?
Oh.
Devon's like Rebecca was like on the side of the off screen during the call. And she said something to Michael, and Michael was like, what do you want, Rebecca? And Devon's like, Rebecca, like, what did he say? He said something about like, Rebecca, stay out of this or something. Oh, I laughed hard.
In all reality, come on, they're a duo. Like she runs the machinery over there.
No doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. But
Michael Todd is doing the heavy lifting, but she's running the machines behind. She's keeping the channel.
She's definitely the grease for the gears.
It's safe to say that without her, none of the videos would ever see the light of day, or would never be filmed in the first place.
Yeah, I have a question. I need your guys' help. Are you ready?
Yeah, shoot.
Okay, and this is for the chat too. So I'm torn. As you guys know, the last time I saw Barry Bourne and Travis Bajan was like, the drama, right? And I was mad. I'm gonna tell you, I was mad because, Barry probably could have walloped me. His social media presence could have like doubled overnight because he probably would have crushed me. To me, total missed opportunity, but I was mad and I ignored him. I was like, okay, I'm done with Barry Bourne. I'm not talking about Barry Bourne. I'm not doing Barry Bourne no more. Now, some time has gone by and Barry Bourne is playing nice, sending me messages. Let's be bros. And I was like, I don't know if I should open up that door. What say you, chat? Give be friends with Barry Bourne or ignore the drama?
Hell no.
I say do whatever you want to do because you're a grown man. But I got to hang out with him at a practice, and he seems like a good dude at heart. Like, he comes from the heart. He just might be a little crazy.
Yeah. But I did get played, man. I got played. I mean, I shouldn't have get swallowed into that drama. What say you, Uncle John?
Gary, I will support you in what you tell me on a regular basis, which is to avoid that drama.
Yeah, but being friends.
So what does being friends do for you, and what does it do for Barry Bourne? Is it a good idea? Can you be friends with Barry Bourne? Or will you become friendly and then you're going to get into the work shoot problem again? Because you're going to be doing a work and Barry Bourne's not going to be able to keep up with you. Yeah. He's going to think it's a shoot, and then you guys are going to be all feisty again.
Love the wrestling metaphors.
I mean, at first I was just ignoring, but it's like if he's gonna, I don't know. Barry's probably, oh, I know. He reached out, he listened to last week's show because when I was like, I was kind of playing nice. I was like, hey man, I just wanted to see if I could box. There was no actual, I was I had nothing against my man. I just wanted to box. Anyways.
I mean, is it out of the realm of possibility to just be an okay acquaintance with Barry? Maybe that's your best bet.
Yeah.
The reason why I say no, and this is coming from just personal, experience and knowing a little bit about them, is you don't want to be friends with someone who can be friendly one minute and just snap on you and just go bipolar the next minute. You can't trust someone like that.
There you go. Good insight.
Was he at the event in Texas?
No.
No, he did not show up. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that. Someone says it's all my fault. I was the problem the whole time. Hey, man, Travis is the problem because Travis told me that I would get destroyed by Barry Bourne, and that's what fired the whole thing up. It could have just been talk. I could have just said, oh, I crushed that guy boxing. And he would have been like, but he's like, no way. Anyways, not to digress, but he really pushed that I couldn't do it, which makes me want to do something. Anyways, in the chat for people paying attention, I asked last week if we could make it a weekly thing. Did any cool shit happen in arm wrestling that isn't getting mentions or something cool? Like post in the comments if there's anything important that we should address or shout out to.
Well, yeah, there's the Ingen East-West match thing that's happening.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's talk about that in a second. Roger, you're on a road trip. You like drove all the way. I saw you were at Michael Todd's.
Yeah. Yesterday, I spent like 3 hours at Michael Todd's house.
Okay, let me ask you. Before you went to Michael Todd's house, who did you think was going to win, Devon or Michael?
I've always been for Michael.
You've always been Team Michael.
Yep.
I was curious if there was a shift once you bro out with somebody. Like, nope, you're cool. So you got to visit the monster factory.
Got to go to the Monster Factory, talk to Rebecca, which is a great honor because that lady is so smart. She's a workhorse.
Yeah.
And then seeing how Michael Todd trained, it put me in the dirt almost.
Nice. That's good. That's good to see.
So can I just give a little shout out? Do you guys see that Michael Todd got a RV?
Yes.
Dude. So check it out. I told Michael Todd, I was like, dude, did you know that I lived in an RV for a couple of years? Because I saw him with his truck branding. And I told him my dream way back in the day was to have a big bus with like ARMTV Nation on it and travel around the world. But my days in the RV life were without arm wrestling. Sorely missed opportunity. But I was talking to him about the RV life community. And I was like, dude, that's a huge opportunity. Not only could you do arm wrestling videos, but you could do RV life videos and you can double your audience. So I'm really curious to see what my man and Rebecca, what they do. They're probably going to do some content that isn't arm wrestling centric, and it'll be really interesting. I think that they will do awesome to the van life community. Like, I don't know how big we have Larry Wheels, we have Alex, they're million channels. There's some RV life people that have 1 million, 2 million channels. There's one RV life channel. They have like 1,500 Patreon members. Can you imagine if you had 1,500 Patreon members dropping you $5-10 a month? Imagine what you could do. Anyways, so we wish all the success in the world for Michael Todd as they adventure out into this world, continue doing what they're doing over here, but then also show us what it's like to live in an RV. Hashtag RV life. I cannot
Now, the
wait.
only thing holding that up is he's looking for a major sponsor to put on that bus or on the side of that bus with his logo and with his image.
Yeah.
So that's still open for anybody with some money.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome if they get it, but they can still, that could be like, they can still hit the road and not have it wrapped yet. It's not like you can't do some videos without it. I mean, it would be cool. Hey,
Well, he's got a house to keep on maintaining and all that good stuff that he has to pay for, and it won't be coming out of his pocket. You know that.
yeah. So people said RVJ's video about side pressure today.
Yeah. So I got to talk about side pressure because it kind of has to do with me. Also, Jace with a $5 super chat. He said Jerome Loud took first place both in left hand and right hand round robin at Georgia arm fights. I haven't seen the footage yet, but Jerome Loud is stupidly strong. So strong.
Where's Jerome from?
I don't know, somewhere southish. I don't know where exactly, but like he's been beaten up on everybody the last few tournaments. He's just one of those guys that, like, I don't know exactly what he does. He seems like one of those guys that doesn't necessarily take arm wrestling as like the most serious part of his life, but he's just so incredibly strong and powerful. And he has these gifts that he doesn't need to take it as serious as everyone else does to compete at a very, very high level.
Must be nice.
Thank you very much. Someone says, did anyone talk about Ryan Blue Bowen?
All right, so let's talk about side pressure because that's what everybody is doing. Let's see. Daniel Urick says, how many arm wrestling enthusiasts and amateurs have broke their stuff doing the PR in the last few days? All right, so the side pressure PR. This thing is really getting up and going. So as you may know, I run a show on Fridays called Arm PR. Each session, we pick a different arm wrestling adjacent or arm wrestling specific movement, and we try to do as much as we can, whether it's a curl. It was a table curl last time. We've done back pressure, we've done pronation, we've done a lot of different stuff. Ryan Bowen has been on me to do side pressure since the beginning, and I was putting it off because training for side pressure can be, in my opinion, dangerous to one's overall arm health, right? Especially when you're talking about doing PRs.
Hey,
so,
Uncle John, can you pause for 1 second?
Yeah.
Roger, I'm getting a little feedback in the audio. I'm going to try to mute you for a second to see if it's you. Okay?
All right.
I'm just going to mute you for like a minute to see if it changes. Okay, go on, Mr. Uncle John.
All right. So what's happened is basically Ryan, I basically said, okay, Ryan, we're going to do side pressure, but you have to come on to the judges panel to help create the specific lift you want people to do. And then we got to help us create the rules in order to properly do that lift. And he was more than happy to do that. So we were talking, myself, Ryan, and Mazel Jador, who's our moderator. Thank you so much, Mazel. Go check out Mazel's YouTube page, by the way. He's a freak and he lifts all sorts of heavy shit. So we had a couple conversations about what the lift should be, the rules, and then we did a live on Saturday and we talked about it and gave some examples. And then immediately after that, Ryan posted his 1 rep max, which was like 80 kg doing side pressure. And when I say side pressure, it's like the cable's coming from here. I have a loop on my hand going around here, and I'm actually coming sideways to put all the pressure in my inner elbow, right? It's like a Todd Hutchings move, right? When Todd Hutchings goes like that.
Did Ryan Bowen want to do this because he knew he was going to be like king?
It's one of his stereotypical strengths, right? Because the big deal was when it was Ryan Bowen versus RVJ, which is now not happening. RVJ probably has him in every single vector possible, except for, in Ryan Bowen's mind, side pressure. Ryan believes that he can beat Rob in side pressure. So one of the points of doing this was because Rob has been participating and Ryan's been participating in the RMPR shows. So Ryan puts it out there, but a lot of people love to, really ding on those types of things when it comes to Ryan Bowen, because he attracts a lot of lightning. And so he put his stuff out there, got a lot of flack, a lot of people saying you're going to get hurt, yada, 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 which I don't necessarily disagree with, which is why I have stated multiple times already that the lift isn't even open yet. Do not do this lift. under any circumstances, do not do this lift. If you choose to do this lift, feel free to upload it to YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram and tag Uncle John. But again, do not do this lift. It is bad for your health. So then there was
wait. So you were just straight up telling people don't do this, but you're doing the PR video?
Correct. Do not do this lift in any way, shape, or form. But if you would like to submit, go ahead and do so. I will accept absolutely no responsibility for anything that you do. You must be an adult to participate, unless you have given consent from your legal guardians. And I do not want to hear about any injuries. If you have any idea, any thought in your head that it's potentially possible that you would be injured from this lift, do not do it.
Okay, hold on a second. Obviously, if I haven't done any sort of side pressure stuff, I would never attempt this, right? If you're attempting a max of anything, you have to have worked on it a little bit, right?
Right. You have to learn the lift, and that's what I'm doing right now.
These aren't virgin people.
Right. On the leaderboards, no one is going to be a virgin. I'm going to be the most virgin, myself or Mazel, probably the most virgin side pressure guys, because I don't do any side pressure. So what I've been trying to do since I found out that this is what we were going to do, I've been doing a lot of light side pressure, right? To trying to build it up and make something of it. So it's going to be interesting, but I just want to stress the fact that this lift is something that will hurt you if you are new to arm wrestling and you don't have any inner elbow stability built up already.
Okay,
now,
someone said that is RVJ and the Ryan thing still going on?
Still going on.
There's still drama.
Oh.
Is that match still a potential?
No, well, not at this point. Not officially. It was canceled officially, but who knows for the future.
But there's still some smack talk there.
Still a lot of smack talk. So then on Monday, it must have been just yesterday, or else it was Sunday, they had a live version of the fix. And on the fix, they had Ryan on there as usual, and they have RVJ on there as well. And they were going back and forth about what side pressure is, if side pressure is valid. And of course, there was a lot of flack given towards Ryan on that one. But, when it comes down to it, there's guys that utilize side pressure that are top level dudes, right? Todd Hutchings is one of the most side pressure pullers of all time. So if you tell Ryan Bowen that he's wrong about side pressure, you must also tell Todd Hutchings that he's wrong about side pressure. Now, you can argue about the angles, you can argue about how to train it, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, it is a movement that is an arm wrestling movement and has been used to great success with many high-level arm wrestlers. So that is why we're going to do it, because I want to see what I can do. I want to see what the average leaderboard guy can do. But I do not want to see any viewer submissions. If you are an amateur or a novice, do not try this lift in any way, shape, or form.
So if I'm
going to try it.
Let me ask you, Uncle John, if have the pulley thing here and I'm just doing it slow, is it not safer?
If you're doing it slow,
like obviously if you're hitting like Hutchings or going crazy, that's risky. But if I'm just trying to do a lift where I get the weight up a little bit, you're saying I'm gonna potentially injure myself?
Well, I'm saying that with this type of lift, it's a non-natural movement, right? It is putting everything into your elbow joint right here. So your likelihood to be injured will go up significantly.
Yeah, especially doing it really, really heavy. That's just like the JM press. You can't just start smashing out JM presses super heavy because you'll hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So
Ryan side presser, ouch, Bowen, says Gary, you're awesome.
That was quick.
Hey Ryan, thank you, brother.
That was quick.
Is there anything else? Topics? The East versus West thing. Is there a GoFundMe? Is it working?
Well, I wouldn't know because I've been banned from all of Engen's Facebook social media, so I don't really know what's going on. I only know because I saw it bumping around from Herman Stevens. So Herman Stevens is on the card. Todd Hutchings, Dallas Langston. They got a lot of good matches, a lot of good, interesting matches. But it's another one of these things that's like crowd sourced, crowd funded, help us get this off the ground, yada yada yada.
Listen, I know something a little about this. You want to meet your GoFundMe goal, you got to go live and you say you're not logging off.
Right.
The highlight of that, I mean, I had many highlights, but when we were at 22 hours and some of the last minute sponsors came in, they literally said, I don't care if Derek goes to Dubai or not. I'm donating so Gary can go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty, I mean, that's pretty cool right there. They literally didn't care about the sponsorship. They were just like, let's get Gary to bed. Let's help him reach his goal.
Yeah.
So if you really want to do it, you got to go live and you got to be committed, bitches.
Yep. Let's see. Lewis K says, John, why are you banned? I don't know why I'm banned, but I got banned immediately after I did the ARM PR that was the Engen strict curl. And then Engen got mad because he was associated with it and everybody was doing not strict curls. And then I said, this is the not Engen, not strict curl. And then I was banned immediately after that. So
Fuck Engen.
there you go. That's all I know.
Someone says
Fuck
in the
that
chat that Derek did a live yesterday. I saw that. I've been meaning to click on it. I just haven't yet. So I'm going to go review that. Are they close to their goal? Anyone? What do they want?
I don't know.
They want,
I haven't seen.
I saw Ingen said he wanted 4K.
Yeah.
Derek raised $1,000 on one live stream and he didn't even go 24 hours. What? No way. Let me go look at that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's really, I mean, come on. That's like, wow.
It's interesting how Engen has kind of like discarded half of the community, half of the arm wrestling community. And now he's like trying to work with the other half. Like he's got his in with Derek and Herman and a few other guys. Be interesting to see how all that plays out.
What do you mean?
Well, Engen went on a ban fest, and so he's kind of alienated himself from a big chunk of the community.
So you saying he's going on a repair your relationship?
I don't know if I would say that. I would say it's more of a, I am Engen, hear me roar. I'm going to grab onto a few guys and make a spectacle of my own without Devon. That's what I would say it probably is more of.
Hold the phone here. Are you in the chat or anybody here? Are you telling me that Derek Smith went live for an hour and 40 minutes and raised $1,000?
It's pretty good.
That's way more impressive than 24 hours and 2,000. I mean, let me tell you, that's far more efficient.
Well, he has the power of notoriety, right? Ever since, I think the reason he's able to do that is because of the 24 hours, right? Without that, Derek is still, you know, at the 3,000 to 4,000 sub level, right?
What's he at now?
I don't know, like 8, something like that.
What?
Yeah, because he went and saw Larry, right? And then once he got hooked up with Larry and then he went to hang out with Engen, like that was really good. That was really good for his channel. And I think he's got some really good followers that Derek is a likable dude, right? So, you know, if he can get those guys and they're willing to support, then damn, more power to you.
I got a buddy in my arm wrestling association. Shout out to Tyler Arm Wrestle Association, by the way. He said he's been talking to Derek about coming to one of our practices out here in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. You guys will learn a ton. No doubt.
Arm Wrestling says Gary focused on the money. What? Dude, if you're doing a GoFundMe, why wouldn't you be talking about the money? That's the whole point. Duh. I mean, and if you can raise money quickly, that's awesome. I had to work really hard to raise 2,000. I'm like, if you can do it in less than time, that's really impressive.
Well, the other thing,
speaking of, I've been trying to build a Patreon for a month now, and I'm stuck at 13 for 3 weeks in a row. What am I doing wrong? How come I can't get Patreon members? I'm literally giving away the money.
Oh, well, you're doing it wrong. Daniel Urich with a $5 super chat. He says, Derek shotgunned a beer shirtless, so everyone threw him some dough to get him there. It was epic. That's what you got to do,
Oh,
Gary. That's what you got to do.
oh, the whole thing was like, I'll do something cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, here's the deal. Arm wrestling motivation. So just to give you a little nerdy thing about me, I'm into the movies, right? So I go on like box office. Like I'm the guy that when Titanic and Star Wars was having a race to see who could be the biggest box office gross of all time. I was like in the chat rooms every Sunday night, crunching the numbers. I'm like really geeky like that. So when it comes to like arm wrestling, like as we grow, I would be geeky on the pay-per-view and like, oh, let's say they have a let's say their baseline for the Michael Todd Devon Larratt pay-per-view is this. Like the next time Larry Wheels did another big match, I would be like, oh, okay, can we beat the pay-per-view? I'm just geeky like that. It's not like I'm in love with money. I'm just geeky. I'm nerd out. Anyways, Gary, what happened to Dare Barry Bourne and you beef? Oh, did I skip Dan York? 25.4 Fosters? 20.
25.4 ounce Fosters. That's disgusting.
Oh my god! Now I gotta really go watch this. Props to him, Gary. Whatever happened to Dopey Barry Bourne? I literally just talked about this earlier.
Yeah, maybe you missed it. Let's not recap it. Long story short, it all fell apart. Now Gary's wondering if they should be friends. We said no.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat, but I feel bad to like take up people's time over that again. You just have to rewind it.
Roger Cunningham with a 666 super chat says, test your frame, Uncle John. Test my frame.
Speaking of movies and everything, has everybody seen the new Mortal Kombat?
No.
Oh, I'm halfway. I'm halfway.
I want to.
I got it on pause. No, wait. You know what other movie came out? Golden Arm.
Oh,
I haven't watched. I didn't even know that came out.
No, it's on pay-per-view. It's $6. Are we not watch it?
No, I'm not paying $6 for that.
Dude, no. I'm gonna do a watch party. That's it.
Okay, if you do a watch party, I'll watch it that way.
Yeah. Let's do a watch party. I'll figure out the time. You know how the watch parties work. You don't show the movie. We were all watching it, but we chat.
Yeah.
While we watch it. Dude, we gotta watch it. Come on.
I'm in. I would do it.
We gotta watch it. Okay, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna do a watch party where I watch this live and we comment and chat about it. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. See, I'm a nerd. I mean, here's the deal. It's been how many years since we had Over the Top?
A lot.
So even if this is kind of like chick flick / arm wrestling, if you want to raise awareness to arm wrestlers, I mean, adding the girl element and it being kind of comedy, slapstick comedy, it's not the worst. It's not the worst idea. Even though when they're talking about the Nationals and it cuts to like a dark, like WWE like setting with Mohawk and
my biggest worry is that it's going to end up being a big social justice warrior type of thing. And it's going to be like just that, trying to get a political point across sort of with the whole girl power thing. And that's what is good. That's the vibe I got from the trailer.
Dude, I think let me look it up. When I looked, to be honest, the Rotten Tomatoes, it was at like 100%.
Yeah, because Rotten Tomatoes is run by social justice people. They changed the reviews.
Super biased. I was about to say Rotten Tomatoes, Mortal Kombat. I don't even think they have like a super small rating, which that movie is legit as fuck. Same with King Kong versus Godzilla.
Dude,
that movie's breaking the box office, and on Rotten Tomatoes, it's not doing good. And I was like, how is that even possible?
Golden Arm has an 89% score.
Garb, fewer than 50 ratings.
That's still pretty high.
Yeah. I'll be
I'm
the
not-
judge of this.
This movie, I mean, Rotten Tomatoes isn't perfect, but there's something to be said for the 20% and below. If you watch it, it's a little, you're like, okay, I get it.
I
Okay,
mean,
great.
I hope it proves me wrong. I hope it proves me wrong, but I have a feeling even if it does prove me wrong, no one will believe me because the trailer was so atrocious. But then again, they're probably not making this movie for us. They're like, oh, what's the percentage of people that know how to arm wrestle? They're going to watch this 0.001%. It's just for normies, right? So maybe it's what normies like.
Roger Bailey.
Oh.
Can I call you Roger Bailey or do I got to be Roger?
No, you can call me anything except late for supper. I'm just kidding.
So you went to 2 tournaments, Texas, within like a month of each other. Both had seminars. Give us a comparison between one and the other.
One was a grueling, I don't know, endurance test, and then the other one was running into some of the, I don't know, Jordan Steele and Chance Shaw were pretty on point at this last tournament.
Yeah,
But my boy Robbie Burnett came in there and smashed him. Represented for Texas, though.
A bunch of big names.
I saw that. Robbie Burnett looked.
Yeah, he's looking real good. He's looking real good.
Who did the seminar at this last one?
Chance Shaw, Jordan Steele, and Luke Kent.
Not bad.
So are they just going to keep doing it? They're going to keep bringing in new peeps? Like a new rotation?
That would be the good thing. I mean,
I was thinking, I heard that some of the guys didn't enter because they sat on the side and did something like after polling. I think that's kind of a shame. I think maybe you should have it like you could go to the seminar, you could pay for just the seminar, pay for the arm wrestling, or if you do both, you get a discount. So like 50 and 50, or you do both, it's like 75. I think that might be because like if I went to a seminar a month ago, I might just want to arm wrestle this month. You know what I mean?
I don't mean to cut this short, Gary, but I am like in the middle of a flash flood, so I'm going to get off the phone, all right?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming.
All right.
All right, Roger.
See you later, Roger.
How far?
Drive safe, brother.
See you, man. That's amazing that he went to Texas like 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy right there, Roger. He's talking about moving to Texas.
I'm going to be having to put down my kids soon. Is there any other things we missed?
There was an awesome documentary on the Macho Man on A&E the other night.
I missed.
Oh yeah, was there?
It was pretty good. It was mostly stuff I already knew, and the second half of it was pretty brutal for him. They pretty much buried him, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Someone
I'll have to
says,
go watch
how in the world have we not had Arm and Hammer sponsor arm wrestling yet? That's a good point.
I don't know. That is a good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a question about after reviewing some of the ROTN footage, I saw a few people got fouled for taking their hand off the peg. Why is this a foul?
If you gain position, generally it's not a foul unless you gain advantage.
Yeah.
So
but sometimes it's just a warning. Sometimes it's a foul. It depends on the league. Sometimes it's a foul and the match will stop. Other times it's a warning, but the match continues.
Going forward, ROTN, remind me, never going to stop a match because a guy goes like this.
Yeah, but it should be a warning, like a running warning.
Yeah.
That's weird. Also, Bill Collins started off the match started off the video, the rules, going back to that, saying the shoulder across the center of the table. Is this something you guys care about? And Michael Todd said, I don't care about that. Is this a weird one to care about? It seems obvious to me that there'd be an advantage if I'm allowed to go like on your side of the.
Well, in the last match, they had Devon like put half of his body over the center of the table. Like he had his leg up on top of the table and like his body was like on top of the table.
Yeah, Michael Todd said, "I don't care."
Yeah.
Like, why would he?
Because I think he believes wholeheartedly that there's no chance that Devon will be able to get in that position.
Right, but that's still something you shouldn't want, right? That's like,
I don't know, man. I assumed Michael was a smart puller, but then when they were on the show last week or 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I'm sure Michael knows when to stop, and I'm sure Michael knows what he's doing leading up to match. And Rebecca threw him under the bus completely and said, no, he doesn't. He's doing stupid shit right up until the day before. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't care. Maybe he doesn't think about that kind of thing.
mean, I feel like Michael Todd seems like he's addicted to working out. So yeah, it's hard for him to stop and rest. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Michael Todd, allow your body to rest. Like, if you think you're the strongest you've ever been arm wrestling wise, imagine if you were also well rested and healed in the areas you need to be healed. Then you'd be just, I mean, I'm torn. I think I was going for Michael, but now I'm like, shoot, I don't know. When I asked you, like, if anyone changed opinions, I think I was talking about myself.
I'm still going for Devon because I always root for the underdog, but the way Michael's looking, I mean, whew.
I'll tell you this. As of today, I have officially switched to Team Devon.
Canada.
4-3. 4 to
Canada.
So wait, you were Team Michael? I forgot. You were Team Michael?
I was Team Michael, 4-3 wars. But in the last few weeks, the last, even days, I felt it deep inside my arm wrestling soul that Devon Larratt, with his training and his acumen when it comes to the game, he will defeat Michael Todd 4-3 in the most epic fashion you can possibly imagine.
Are you messing with me?
Absolutely not. Santiago Mastiel with a $20 super chat says, ARMTV, thanks for all the great content, especially this one. Coming straight from the horse's mouth, Devon Larratt wins this match 4-3.
Speaking of, I got something to talk to you. Oh, this is good. Before we go, 1 hour ago, I asked you, how many people do you think have changed their opinions? And you literally did not say what you just said.
Can you say that one more time?
1 hour ago, I said, if we poll everyone,
yeah,
and they said they were Team Michael or Team Devon a month ago, how many people have changed their minds? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you just change your mind 5 minutes ago?
Look, I have a lot of time that I'm training and working out and watching videos to think about these things. And I always wait until the right time to announce who I'm going with. And at this very moment, that name is Devon Larratt. He is a man of pancake science. He is a man of his own volition who is going to war. He knows a lot about that. He knows how it works. He knows what he needs to do. And clearly, by the size of that man's head, he is on his way to his paradise. And I think when Devon hits that level, when
becoming an actual pumpkin,
when he hits that sweet pumpkin spice taste in the back of his mouth, he is going to be ready to rip in Dubai. And I think the next 3 weeks, he is just going to go up, 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 up. He's going to come in nice, fresh, and easy. He's going to dig into Michael's mind so deeply in Dubai that there is no coming back for Michael. And Michael will be surprised by Devon getting multiple wins up front. Devon will get 2 wins immediately. Michael will be in shambles. He will know his back's against a wall. He will come back, and he will make it 3-2. Devon will then deep digger, come up 3-3. Final match. There will be shenanigans. But Devon will come out on top 4-3.
I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling this is a show or a work. This is a show or a work. Something happened.
A shoot or a work. A shoot
or a work. Devon Larratt just messaged you and said, hey, Uncle John, I need you to get Team Devon real quick. Life will be good for you if you get back on the Team Devon train. I feel like, did somebody just call and remind you that, like,
look, at the end of the day, Gary, the fact of the matter is that Uncle John cannot be bought. Uncle John does the selling. He does not get bought himself. And whatever Uncle John says is mighty, mighty important for you people at home to be taking advantage of this information. Because if you want to lay down, you know, some bets with your buddy, something like that, the hot money right now is on Devon Larratt.
Yeah, I feel like Devon said, hey, start talking me up or you're going to number 8 instead of number 4 in Canada. Okay, I got 5 minutes to
I was
ask you
about to
guys.
say, go ahead. I'm about to roll out. I got to move cars again. I'll keep listening. Y'all
All right.
have a good one.
Yeah,
Later.
we're wrapping up. Uncle John, I've got some sincere.
Well, first, before you get to that, do you want to make a bet on this match?
Oh, dude.
A gentleman's wager, if you will. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. I'm interested in all sorts of ways.
Okay, fine. Let's bet all team Michael.
Yeah.
You ride Team Devon.
Here's the deal. Let's think of the bet over the next week.
Okay.
Next week.
This will be fun.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
You be Team Devon. We'll think of something fun.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a good little gentleman's bet. But I need some help here.
Okay.
So as you know, I have all this content, a lifetime supply, really, of old matches. I mean, really, it's not an exaggeration. So did you see I put out a video, John Brzenk takes a long walk?
Yes.
It was like 45 seconds or 30 seconds. So I am struggling here because I have a video from UAL with John Brzenk versus Jerry Cadorette. I don't know if I spent a week editing it, but I spent probably good 3 days editing this video. I had some music. Did I have music? I intercut interviews. I tried to tell a compelling story for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And this video is at 30,000 views.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, if I just put out no editing, John Brzenk match 1 with Jerry Cadorette, John Brzenk match 2, a separate clip with Jerry Cadorette, John Brzenk match 3, those videos combined, no editing, 5 minutes worth of work, 3 separate videos, probably would be at, I don't know, let's say double, 60,000. So I'm annoyed and I'm like, that's it. Every John Brzenk clip is just going to be one match, a boring title like John Brzenk takes a walk, match 1. John Brzenk takes a walk, match 2. And you're going to have to like guess who he's arm wrestling. Sometimes it could be nobody, sometimes it'd be he, and like no effort in editing. And like, it'd be like the gotcha game. Like what's in the box?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like when you say,
I would say as long as you don't go all the content that way, right? Make it like, you don't have to do all of it. Like you could do like 5 videos. One is the epic story version with like something really cool that's got a really good hook. And then you could have other ones. Like that's just from me, from what I want out of my ARMTV. But I can understand the smaller clips for people who aren't, because most people are not like me. They aren't looking for the things that I'm looking for, right?
But so like I have the Mohegan Sun. You just watched the Cobra Rhodes video.
Yeah.
And I did a little bit of editing there, but like John Brzenk, I'm like, I'm not going to put, if that's not going to go viral, I'm not going to put more than one John Brzenk match in a clip.
Yeah.
Like, is it smart?
It's a waste.
It should be separate, right?
I mean, for the sake of moving forward with channel and getting more views and acquiring more eyeballs, yes.
Because follow my logic here. Maybe I'm incorrect. If my channel at 20,000 subscribers gets 200,000 views a month and it's not growing, if I were to divide all my videos in half, would 20,000 subscribers equal 40,000 views?
I don't know.
So here's what I've done. I was putting up 16-minute clips. NBK says like the minimum of 8 minutes. That's what I'm doing. I'm now putting out 8-minute chunks because
Then you can do inter splice the ads.
if I'm not going to get growing viewership, then I need my existing base to watch more clips. Is that incorrect thinking?
Meh, not necessarily.
I don't know. That's what I'm experimenting with. So I'm just letting ARMTV Nation know out there. I'm gonna start putting out. I guess someone was like, I almost didn't click on this because John Brzenk takes a walk. Because a lot of matches are just John Brzenk owning people, and I thought it would be like, oh, John Brzenk taking a walk in the park. Because some of these people he's arm wrestling, it's just like a walk in the park. It's not
right.
So I was trying to be clever with the title, but I think I'm just going to do John Brzenk arm wrestles, match 1, match 2.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you gave me any good advice on that.
I think that I like the idea of the individual matches. I think you make a show out of it, not like a long show, but you make it a show unto itself, right?
But some of them I don't have it. Some of the content I don't have a show. It's just John arm wrestling random people. So
right, but the John arm wrestling random people is the show. Don't make it something a little bit different each time. Be like the John Brzenk grab bag, or John Brzenk at it again, or John Brzenk opponent question mark, or and then you can have a series of those types of videos, so people will know that sometimes they're going to get great matches, sometimes they're going to get dominant matches from John Brzenk.
Yeah. My point, I guess, is this: one of my first tournament, John Brzenk, at the Avi days, he arm wrestled, and I put up a montage of John arm wrestling back to back, like 10 people, and it was one clip.
Yeah.
And I don't think that clip has more than 5,000 views.
Yeah.
But I just posted that clip of John arm wrestling one guy, has 4,000 views.
Right.
So that clip, instead of putting John arm wrestling 10 nobodies back to back to back, I should have done 10 1-minute matches.
Right.
It would have all done 4,000 views.
Sure.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean,
anyways,
if the interest holds over time, you have to give the people the bone every once in a while. So every 3rd to 5th video needs to be a good match, because if they're all duds, then people are just going to be like, oh, more of this crap.
Yeah, but I have John Brzenk arm wrestling 400 times.
Yeah.
How many of them are duds?
A lot.
It's going to be a lot, right? So
Yeah.
what am I going to do with that?
I don't know. You got to figure out a way.
I just get John Brzenk.
Reinforcement. Intermittent reinforcement is the strongest reinforcement. You know what intermittent reinforcement is?
No.
Lotto machine. Sometimes you pull the crank, you lose. You pull the crank, you lose. You pull the crank, you win. The next time you got to pull the crank 5 times. Next time you got to pull the crank 7 times. Next time you got to pull the crank 3 times. So you never know when your behavior is going to get reinforced. And when it's intermittent like that, that drives people nuts.
Gotcha. So I should mix it up.
Yes.
Okay. All
Super
right.
chats. We got a couple super chats. Daniel York with $5. He says, when are you changing up the background? Travis is everywhere on here, but not on the show.
Oh, Travis, until you call me back. Until you call me
Oh,
back.
geez.
You call me back, buddy. Call me back.
All the tides have turned.
Till you call me back, bro.
Hey, we got a good idea about the challenge too. He says Hermes Desperini, one of my patrons, by the way. Thank you, Hermes. $4.99. He says loser has to do the hot chip challenge. Also, you know Gary is wrong about something when he makes analogies. That's the tell, I guess. Hot chip challenge. I'm not a big hot guy, but what's that?
What was the analogy that he was referring to?
I don't know. He doesn't say. I think he's just talking in general. Then Repulsive Gravity says $4.99. I agree with the hot chip challenge. Have you ever done one of those before, Gary?
Oh, I'm not good with hot.
Neither am I, but that might be why it's so good.
Ooh.
Because we could make a good content out of that too.
Ooh, I'd be really scared to do that. Okay, what's Gary discussing how to make more money off of Brzenk. Listen, Listen, Steve M. John Brzezinski went so far to say that I could produce images with his face and sell t-shirts and keep all of it. John Brzezinski said, I want you to make as much, whatever you can do off me and my name. I called him. I was like, hey, do you mind? He gave me like the most permission than anyone could give. Really, it's quite crazy how nice John Brzezinski is. I mean, we go way back, so I don't know if he'd do that for everyone, but I mean, he certainly did it with me. And I'm just saying, if I want to do cool shit for the sport of arm wrestling, I need more views. I need more Patreon members. I need more views. I need magic to happen. And right now, John Brzezinski is the name that gets the goods. So, like I was saying, do I spend 3 days editing? It's not just make money. It's like I'm trying to make a living, a job as well. So 3 days for 30,000 views is a lot of work. If you were to equate it, like 30,000 views gets me, I don't even know if it's $20. Uncle John, do you know what 30,000 views equates to in ad revenue?
I have like 30,000 views total. I have no idea.
Well, let me tell you something. For someone who's saying you're trying to make money off John Brzezinski, no, I'm trying to make a living wage. And right now, at the 16, 20 something hours in editing, you divide that by $30. What does it work out to? There's children in Thailand making your t-shirts, making more money than I am on some of these videos. Okay, I gotta go, man.
Take it easy, buddy.
We
Hey,
didn't miss any super chats.
Nope, we're all caught up on super chats as far as I know. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out. We had over 100 people the whole time. It's excellent. Also, Gary, we should, okay, so think about like your top 3 things that you're willing to wager, whether it's like a challenge or whatever it is. And what I think we should do is we should get the top 3 and we should engage the chat because they'll tell us to do awful things. We'll come with 3 finalists for the bet. And then we'll make a poll. We'll make a poll.
Uncle John, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I tuned you out because people were telling me to chill out.
Well, that's not unusual.
Dude, I get it. I'm interacting with the chat. I'm sorry, but this topic was meant for Uncle John. I could have talked to him off camera, of course, but I figured it's like, hey, I'll ask his ideas, and you are just lucky to be here because we could have shut you off. But anyways,
well, Gary, that's terrible. So we should eat, you and I, over the next week, let's think about things we're willing to wager on the Michael Todd Devon Larratt match, whether it be challenges or doing something stupid or whatever it may be. We'll talk about it next week, and then we'll come up with like our top 3, and then that we're both willing to do all 3 of them, and then we'll make a poll on ARMTV, and then we'll let people decide what the loser is going to have to do.
I'm going to need you to start that conversation because when you ask me what am I willing to wager, I'm drawing a complete blank.
All right.
Like I need you to get the ball rolling with ideas because I can't even think of something at this moment.
Well, I'm sure that the chat will have lots of, if you've made it this far, or if you're rewatching this episode, in the comments below, once this video gets kicked over to the regular comments, leave a comment down there. A lot of people are saying hot chip. A lot of people want hot chip. That would be terrible, but I'd be up for it. But let us know. What are some challenge ideas, some different wagers. Ryan Espy's in the chat. He says, I would have been here earlier, but I was watching Golden Arm.
No, you watched it without us, dude. I was going to do a watch party. I think I'm going to do a watch party. We'll watch Golden Arm. I asked my wife if she would watch it with me, and she looked at me really funny.
Well, let me know. And we'll just have to figure out how we can sync up the video.
Wait, hold on. Ryan Espy, don't give spoilers. A 1 to 10. What rating do you give it?
Oh boy, 1 to 10.
1 to 10, rate it.
It's got to be a 1. It's got to be a 1.
The reason Ryan, the Rotten Tomatoes has it like at a 96% score and 100% fresh. Okay, I want to hear Ryan's review number. Gary, you own a 2-piece bikini, a hot tub, and a Twitch account. If you do, I have a business plan for you. I don't own a 2-piece bikini. I do have a pool, and I don't have a Twitch account. Oh man, 3 out of 10. I bet I'll give it more than a 3 because I'll review it as a moviegoer, not just an arm wrestler. Like, will I find it entertaining? Will I laugh? That's how I will review it. Okay, I'm going to talk to my wife about when I could do a watch party.
Yeah.
I'm going to announce it. You guys come back in a couple days, somewhere on social media. I'm going to announce we're going to do a watch party. It's going to be epic. We're going to chat. We'll all watch it together and we'll chat and make fun of it or say nice things about it. Uncle John, as always, it's a pleasure. You are a rock star.
Thanks, sir.
So proud of you. Shout out to our sponsors, Adam from Western Survivor Beef Jerky. And today, brought to you by Nano Cruise Puller Magazine. He sent me this lovely shirt. And if you'd like one, hit up Nano Cruise or Puller Mag on YouTube. Send him a message.
Hey, also big thanks to my sponsors on Patreon, sponsor level members. Robert Gould III, blackflagshop.com, and Copper Ridge Cutting LLC.
I need more Patreon members. I'm stuck
Indeed.
at 13. Come on, boys.
Bring it up. Bring it up. It's pretty good. I'm a patron. I get all this early stuff. That's nice.
I'm going to start doing more. I kind of forget that, but I'm going to start dropping the day ahead of time. All right. Got to go.
See you later, guys.
Peace out.